Integrity, to me, is the most important factor in whether or not we are successful leaders. And integrity is not just, who we are as human beings depicting our character, but I think something else is that it is also showing our trustworthiness for those that we are leading. Something that we need to know is that people's eyes are always on us as leaders, and I think we need to understand the weight of that. The Lord has called us to lead His children, and there is definitely a certain amount of privilege that comes along with all of that. There are eyes on us just everywhere we go, trying to see if we're worthy of being followed. People want to see, is that person who they say they are on the hall, or who they say they are when they're not? Should I follow them, and should I trust them? And I think it's so important to remember that your decisions, they don't just affect you. Our decisions do not just affect ourselves, but the people that we are leading. As leaders, I think, we have these standards that are set before us. As an RD, I have standards that I have to live by, and this is my home, this is where I live, and I have agreed to these standards. And when I leave campus, when I leave Lynchburg, when I'm going and visiting family or traveling, am I going to hold to those standards? And if I choose not to, what does that say about my character? What does that say about the people that I'm leading? And I think you have the same weight as SLCs. When you're living on the halls in community with these students, and you're making these good decisions with them, and your character is upright, and they just know that you're someone to follow, but then you go home or you go off campus, and your decisions contradict what you know is right, what does that say about your character? What does that say about your worthiness of people to follow you? And I think it's important to know that also integrity is not just about who we are in the eyes of others and when we're upright in front of other people. I think it's even more important who you are when people aren't watching you. And we definitely don't just live in integrity simply because people are watching us. That shouldn't be our sole reason. I think it's more important to live in integrity because that is what the Lord has called you to do, to lead. He's called you to lead. He's called you to this position. And I think that is why we should live in integrity, because it is a privilege. It is a privilege to be in this position and to lead His children. And living upright in integrity is honoring to the Lord, and it's going to further the kingdom.
Crowning